this is one of my favorite people in the insurance industry, ladies and gentlemen. This is Doug Hathaway. Well, it is great to be with you today, Doug. I mean, I want everybody to understand how much fun we've had working together, and I'm glad I retired from the insurance industry because I think we would be competing against each other, and you would be kicking my butt down the road every day. But as president of RT uh, National Transportation, I'm very proud of you and happy for you, and grateful, obviously, that you guys have decided to help sponsor our Western Conference, which is coming right up. So thanks very much.
Sure.
What's going on? What's going on at work?
It's busy. I've been at RT now about 3 years, and spent, as you know, a lot of my time on the carrier side, but also I'm one of these guys that flips back and forth. I mean, RT is a very vibrant organization, we're growing in transportation. We're very committed to the segment, and the first thing, they were already members of MCIEF before I got here, but the first thing I did was increase our participation. We do a lot. We have some of my team do teachings to, just get really involved because from the very start of MCIEF and before in the permutations before MCIEF, there was always a need to train people in what we do. And the more I'm in insurance, the more I know what we do is different than what a lot of everybody else does. It's just a different, transportation is a different animal. I could say that I've tried to escape and I got pulled back in, but I really love it. I can't think about leaving it. It's changes every day, and there's a lot of complexity that as a carrier or an agent, if you know it, you've got a leg up on everybody else, and you can really advise your clients well. So, and MCIF does that for us.
Well, please do us a favor and don't try to escape because the industry's better because of your involvement, your leadership, and your ideas. And speaking of ideas, I was asking you also, I think it's fair to say that we've known each other a pretty good while, and we would trace our get together to another well-known, we call him the Pickle Man. How do you know Tommy Ruke?
Tommy Ruke. Well, I started my career at a company called Northland Insurance, and I was up in Minnesota. And I came in, like most people in insurance, didn't have a lot of insurance background, but I actually came in from life insurance. But Northland hired me because I was good at positioning, programs, and I didn't know a lot about transportation or even casualty insurance. But so they quickly, when I got in the door, they quickly introduced me to Tommy. They made me go see him in a class in Memphis, Tennessee, and I was sold ever since. Just I thought I didn't know a lot, but I really didn't know a lot when I jumped in with Tommy. And he, there's just a world out there that that if you know it, you just do so much better. And Tommy's helped me through the years.
Here's something people don't know, and you didn't know I was going to bring this subject up. Most people don't know this. If you know, who is the godfather of the MCIEF Western Conference, if there was one? Who is it? Come on, who is it?
No idea.
Come on.
All
right. Oh, yes, you do. Tell us about the Western Conference and your idea when on a board level and how we finally are where we are.
We're very predominantly, eastern half of the U.S., yet we do so much with organizations like CIC, which is a very dominant western half of the U.S., and we share CE credits and things like that with CIC. And I just knew that and I knew a lot of agents that just hadn't been exposed, hadn't heard of MCIEF. It's just, a couple time zones away is all it took. They just, and so we really decided the Western Conference came from that idea, is that, there's a whole wealth of business. A lot of it, California is the biggest commercial auto state in the country, and we didn't get much from California other than a few people. And we really wanted the Western Conference to be positioned where it's convenient for people to get to. We also wanted to have carriers and other stakeholders in the industry wanted to have it as a full-blown conference. And so that idea basically was what, prompted us to do the Western.
I think you get an A+ because, to give a little background, COVID comes along, so 2020, 2021. So finally in 2022, we're able to have our Western Conference. Of the 180 attendees last year, our Western Conference, 120 have never attended an MCIF event. Yet at the end of the event, we got our highest grades ever from all the participants with regard to the quality of the event, and dominantly, folks came from west of the Mississippi. So from that standpoint, you get an A plus, and from the standpoint of fresh, we're able to make our Western Conference and our annual conference differentiated with regard to what we're teaching because there's so much to teach. It's not a repeat, but it's a similar event, meaning it's obviously education focused, and it's also a fabulous place to meet, I'd say, folks like Doug Hathaway, who are decision makers and leaders within the industry. So I'm not saying to the world it wouldn't have happened without Doug Hathaway, but maybe actually I'd come to think of it, I need to change that. I think I am saying it wouldn't happen without Doug Hathaway. So thanks for that as well. Hey, Doug, listen, RT's sponsorship of our Western Conference helps us keep the cost of the meeting very reasonable and simultaneously improve the quality of the meeting itself. So what you're doing is very important to every single person who attends our meeting in Arizona, whether they're doing it virtually, which we'll have some, or in person, which we'll have more. What do you hope to accomplish, RT, while y'all are in Arizona?
Well, definitely the speaker panel, as always, is excellent. I mean, the hardest thing we can do as producers and carriers is just keep our ear to the ground. And to me, like, I love learning about the industry from the ground up. I don't really like, and so basically everybody that we have speaking is up at ground level on the industry for whatever their topic is. And I like that. The interesting thing that I like also is, and if you survey the attendees of any of our conferences, it's just the collegial atmosphere, the networking. It's probably the best networking conference I attend for sure. Meaning that everybody from newly minted people in the industry to new TRS designees to longstanding people that have been in the industry from all walks of life in all parts of the country. There's no one single place you can meet everybody in the transportation industry like an MCIEF conference. And so when I invite people from RT Specialty to go, it's as much to learn, but it's also as much to just branch out, talk to other wholesalers, talk to retailers, a lot of which are their customers, and talk to carriers, and some of which the RT doesn't represent. I mean, when there are a lot of new transportation markets that have come on board, and MCIF has done a great job with them, and so they learn too. So they're as inquisitive about us as we are about them, and so like I said, it's just a great networking forum, but it's also a place we can learn from the ground up.
Well, I know this. May 17th through 19th, Phoenix, Arizona, the Hyatt Hotel, downtown Phoenix. I can't wait to see you face to face, shake your hand, and thank you again in looking you in the eye for what you have given to MCIF. And as I say to everyone else, what you're going to give in the future. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about all of your talent and your great ideas. So, Doug, thank you very much. Have a great day. Don't work too hard, Doug. Come on. Take a half a day off every once in a while, okay?
All right, John. Appreciate it.
All right.